Oh, you want to talk connectivity? Holy mackerel. This is ridiculous. Like, I can't even connect to the internet. 13 days. Oh, save me from the wheelie dealy. Today, we're going to talk about connectivity. And by that, I mean connecting to the internet. Now, I live in a car. I'm on a very limited income. So I can't afford to go and buy a $300 or $400 cell booster or add to my bills by getting one of those hotspots. I just can't afford it right now. It's in the future plans. So for the time being, what I have to do is I have to go to public Wi-Fi spots. Now, the most common ones seem to be Tim Hortons or McDonald's or, Burger King or those places that offer free Wi-Fi. Now, I've found a few spots that have better Wi-Fi. You don't get booted off like you do at the more popular Wi-Fi hotspots. What I found when I was in Soyuz, I started off by going into the local Tim Hortons and I'd grab myself a coffee and maybe use the facilities there. And then I'd sit in the parking lot, but I kept getting booted off. Or if you're watching a video, you get that little wheelie dealy going around. And you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. And there's so many people using it. There's so much demand for that Wi-Fi. So I got really frustrated when I was in Soyuz. I decided, I used to go to the library. When I lived in a stick and brick, I couldn't afford internet at the time. So I used to take my laptop and go down to the library, and that's the perfect signal. It's like, wow, okay. So is there a public library in Soyuz? Yeah, I found one. Most towns will have a public library. Hopefully you can get close enough to the building to pick up the Wi-Fi signal. I find they're not too strong. It depends on the building. My thought is I could take my computer inside and set up at a desk, but I kind of prefer the confines and the quiet of my car. And for a little touch of home, that just makes it seem all that more cozy. A very cozy, comfortable bed. If I get too hot, I can turn on the air conditioning. If I get too cold, I can turn on the heat. And if it is really miserable, I have the option of going inside, but then I'm carting in my laptop and the plug and, that type of thing. It depends on, I guess, how I feel at the time, whether or not I'm going to stay in my car. 9 times out of 10, I stay in my car. This morning, I get up, I go down to the local Timmy's, use the facilities, grab myself a coffee, and then I sat in the parking lot. I got booted off the internet 4 or 5 times, and I finally says, F this, I'm done. So I'm watching these videos that are teaching me something, and I keep getting cut off, and you see the little wheelie dealy around and around. And it's like, oh, save me from the wheelie dealy. Okay, so what I did was, I thought, I gotta go to Canadian Tire later anyway, so I might as well go now. And I parked in a semi-prime spot. I logged into their internet. And it's a little bit slow, but it's actually not a bad. I wouldn't upload anything, but to quickly search the net or to watch a video or to connect on Facebook or, something like that, it's perfect for that. The best one in town that I've found is the Home Depot. It's got a fairly large parking lot. I don't like to park there that long, but it depends on if I'm uploading a video, that's where I go. So there's places like Home Depot, Rona, Lowe's, the big box stores. Wi-Fi for Walmart, if it exists at all, is crap. Don't even bother with Walmart. That's the connectivity. The other places that you can get decent Wi-Fi, YMCA, community centers, restaurants. One of my favorites is the Shoppers Drug Mart, so drugstores. Most of the bigger chains will have a Wi-Fi signal. All of these places, the reason why they will offer free Wi-Fi is because they're collecting data off of you. Like if you stop in front of, let's say, the electronics for any length of time, they're actually tracking you. And that's why they offer that free Wi-Fi, is so that they can get that shopping information for their marketing. And it's the same kind of principle that Facebook works on. If you pause on an ad that's in your feed, you'll get more of that stuff. So it's not because they have your best interest in mind. It's so that they can sell more product. And actually, you are the product, because they create these lists and they have everything and all the information that they require, because every time you agree to terms and conditions, you're allowing them access to your information that's stored on your phone. It's totally amazing what the internet collects on you. Don't bother locking it down now because it's too late. I already have it. Another place where you will find connectivity is a laundromat. They have a pretty amazing Wi-Fi. While you do your laundry, you can certainly hook up to the Wi-Fi there. Now, another place that I've been looking into is hotels. But the question is, how do you get their password? Because all of them are on password. So if you're not staying there, how do you get the password? You could go in and just ask for the password. I'm not sure. I know that when I'm parked at Tim Hortons, there's a Hilton right across the street, and they have 3 Wi-Fi signals, and they're all really like full bars. And this is across the street. And even down the street at Tim Hortons, I can pick up at least 2 bars of this hotel. Okay, this is funny. iMovie is updating, Keynote is updating, and I use those apps a lot, but I'm also updating my system. 22 hours, one day. I can't be connected to McDonald's. 2 days. Oh, we're getting up there the longer we wait. Oh my God, I might have to wait to do this one. This is ridiculous. 7 days, 8 days, 10 days, 13 days. Oh my God, that is too funny. Okay, so I just figured out the reason why it was going to take, 13 days to update, and then it disappeared. I was on the McDonald's Wi-Fi, and I lost the signal. I moved the car, which was a dumb thing to do, but I was sitting like right in the sun, and there was a spot in the shade. I figure if I'm going to be sitting here for a couple hours to do updates, I want to be in the shade, because this is ridiculous. Like, I can't even connect to the internet now. I guess the signal's just not strong enough. I shouldn't have moved. I'm just not close enough. I'm just like 1 car space away. But if I move back to that other space, then I don't have shade. So that's kind of an issue. And I'm really, really close to the door. And I don't really like that. I don't like taking up prime parking spots if I can help it. No, signal's not strong enough where I moved to. And I'm not that far away. I only really moved 1 car length. So this is a major, major issue with a lot of the free Wi-Fi, the public Wi-Fi that businesses put out, is that if you're too far away from the building, you don't have a strong enough signal to keep the signal going, to keep the Wi-Fi open. But if you park too close, then you're taking up prime real estate for paying customers, unless you go in to the business and purchase something. And that's why I always buy a Tim Hortons coffee in the morning. I use their bathroom. I'll buy a coffee, and I'll sit in their parking lot. When I'm done that coffee, I usually go in for a second one and use the washroom again, because I'm actually just borrowing the coffee. Let's do this. Okay, so that's a little bit better. 7 hours remaining. 8 hours. Oh, come on. Every time I look at it, there's more hours. This is beginning to be a bit of a pain in the butt. It says I'm connected. Just pulled into a parking lot. It's a strip mall that surrounds the parking lot on all 4 sides, actually. So there's quite a bit around here, and the signal that I managed to get was PetSmart. So what is available here is, okay, there's the A&W signal, and I would have to pick that up because I'm really close to it, but I'd prefer not to, because it's a fast food place, and they're notorious for not having a good clean signal, and you get booted off very, very quickly. The Michaels is one. If I was a little bit closer, there's one bar there. The PetSmart. I'm hooked up to the guest Wi-Fi. So there's quite a bit around here that you could hook up to. And if I move to the other side of the parking lot, I'll pick up Canadian Tire and possibly a stronger signal with Michaels. So let's test the Wi-Fi now. That's actually not too bad. You don't need to buy any special equipment to hook up to the internet when you live in your vehicle. It's only when you go backcountry, off-grid, that you're going to need to be able to help yourself with connectivity. Eventually, I would love to get my own Wi-Fi so that I don't have to drive around everywhere and sit in a hot parking lot during the summer. I'd rather be sitting down at the beach, at a picnic table, and have my own Wi-Fi available for doing whatever I want online. Now, my cell phone plan, I have 30 gig, and that's costing me around $90 a month. So I'm willing to upgrade to get the, I can't remember what it's called, some kind of hub or something like that, so that I could be connected. At least then I can go wherever I want to go, and I'm not stuck sitting in a hot parking lot, which is no fun. That's the biggest downfall, I think, about the connectivity, is finding it and then you're stuck sitting in a parking lot. So it's a little bit of a pain. There are other options. You can go into a restaurant or coffee bar, or you can go into a library. There's huge issues in today's world with connectivity. We've become very, very reliant on it for just about everything. We order food online, we have products delivered, we connect with friends and relatives. So it's no longer a luxury, it's a necessity nowadays. You need to be connected. And I think it's more important for nomads to be connected, because living in a car, you're certainly not going to have a landline. So way back when, you had no connectivity other than physically going to places where other people were. Today, you can sit in your car in a parking lot in any city or town, and you can be connected. You can have a face-to-face conversation with friends and loved ones, which is really, really nice. So I just couldn't imagine being without. It's a very, very important part of being a nomad, is being able to connect to the internet. So on that happy note, I'll say goodbye. Have an awesome day. As always, talk to you later.